Now they're gonna know exactly what he said.
Yeah. What about them?
All right, we'll call the meeting to order. Billy, you wanna lead us in the pledge of allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, privilege of the floor. We got you later.
Hi, how are you?
I'll get to you in a minute.
Okay. You're on the agenda.
She's got you under old business for some
Okay.
reason, instead of privilege of the floor.
So I purchased a property a little under a month ago, and a portion of it is in the hamlet, and I was looking to have it removed.
Unfortunately, you've got about 4.5 years to wait. We can only renew the designations every 5 years, and we just finished
Okay, so
earlier this year.
what would be the process? to
In about probably about 4.5 years from now, everybody should get a letter that it's coming up due again, and if you would like to be taken out, you just file a request to be taken out of the hamlet.
Okay,
And then we look at it and see whether it makes sense for the town and whether
Case
it
by
doesn't.
case.
Yep.
okay.
But, yeah, unfortunately, you just missed the deadline, because we did it,
Fall.
last
Back
fall,
in
we started it.
September.
Yeah,
Okay.
so. But that's all you gotta do when it comes up, just, when you get the letter saying that the hamlet designations are up for review, just make sure you get a letter in. It's
Okay,
gonna have it
thank you.
changed. Anybody else for privilege of the floor? Okay. Approval of the minutes from May 9th. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of May 9th.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Let's see. Okay, Carol,
Hi,
you're up.
guys. I'm back. I just wanted to pass out a letter that I wrote to, and I'll discuss it. I'm Carol Morrison. Carol Morrison. Hello,
Hi, how are you doing?
Carol Morrison.
Yep, thank you.
So we have the Walton Reporter lady here?
No, we do
No, we don't. Okay. I was just checking because the last meeting I was here, they put wrong information in the paper and I wanted to correct it. May I start or do you want?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is old business again, month after month. I think we were here in September last year for Tanglewood Lake Road. And we have hired an engineer, Rick Boyd of Binghamton, New York, to help us with a DEC created problem. As my little note tells you there, Tanglewood Lake was created in 1967 by Torney Stoop. When he created it, there was a round circle out the back of the lake to Maggie Hogue Road, which was closed in 1987 by the town. Well, in 2009, the DEC decided to start changing dam regulations, and in 2012, they changed our dam rating on the hazard class from an A to a B, which we weren't really notified of until 2014. That's why we're here 3 years later. What we're trying to do, the only reason our rating hazard has changed is because the roads down at Tanglewood Lake and Huska are going to overtop if the dam breaks or high floods, 100-year, 150-year flood. We have gone through every hill and dale up there. We have gone through the back of the lake to the side of the lake. We met with Mark Stoop last week, who owns the farm at the end of the road. We thought we had a bypass road through his lands, but it turns out the route that the engineer suggested, which was the shortest and cheapest route, if you can call it that, went right through an agricultural easement that he has. So he has 3 acres in the center, and our road would go right through the center. So if he was gonna build later, if I was him, I would say, forget it. So the alternate road on Mark's land would go up more terrain and down into water, and it would be like $100,000 plus to create this bypass road that would never be used. So, we are back to you guys because, as my letter states to you, the responsibility of Tanglewood Lake homeowners ends at the spillway. We created our dam, we are maintaining our dam, we maintain our culverts and our bridges within the community. Once the water leaves the lake, the waterway that goes down to those 2 roads, both sides of that land is owned by New York City. There will never be building down below us because that easement is in there. And what we're asking you to do, we've come back again, I've taken out the executive summary for Delaware County Multi-Jurisdictional All Hazard Mitigation Plan update, which if you read this plan, there's about 90 pages of it, but I just took out pertinent pages concerning this issue. And the issue comes back to the county and the little cities and villages here meeting, and their, the executive summary basically says that they are going to get together to prepare communities while protecting its health, safety, and quality of life. So, at that time, when the county got together with all the little towns and hamlets, there were repairs done to sluice pipes and culverts on all of the areas that I have listed there, Scotch Mountain, just multiple areas. Our area was never touched. I don't know why it was never touched, I guess we were off the beaten path, but seeing that our area has a dam and the waterway coming down into 2 roads, the culverts should be upgraded, and I believe that the road department and the DEC should get together and decide how much water can be filtered through. The one pipe that comes down Mark's hayfield, that could be made bigger where it just empties water right into his hayfield. It isn't even any big engineering feat. But the culvert pipes that we have running down Tanglewood Lake Road are old. We haven't had ditches dug out. We haven't had the road repaired. We have little potholes repaired every year or thereafter. So the conditions up there are not good. We have standing water in ditches that are that deep with mosquitoes festering. So what I'm asking you to do is to take into account to read this. We don't want to become your enemy. We just want to settle this and go back on our normal little life. But we feel now that this has come back to the town and the county, and that some remedy has to come out of this, because it can't be put on homeowners to repair and replace property that doesn't belong to them. So I hope that my memo is clear, and if you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
I guess I have 2 questions, or
Okay.
just clarification. So it seems like there's multiple issues. There are some things that should be taken care of. I mean, for health issues like mosquitoes and
Right.
stuff. But then there's this classification issue, which, if that didn't exist, if New York State didn't change the dam classification, this wouldn't be as urgent, am I correct?
Yeah, so the difference is that we are an A rating since the
Right.
dam was created. So an A rating is you monitor yourself, you do self-inspection. If they come in and wanna check, you have paperwork, which Corny Stoop, I'm sure everybody here knew him, he did everything forever. But, so when you go into a B rating, the B rating is that now you have to meet 150-year flood requirements. So our engineer, Rick Boyd, who's done all the mitigation for Walton and all these towns, he's a great guy. He has gone and done all these calculations for 150-year flood. The dam will never meet 150-year flood. It's gonna overtop that sucker and won't throw it down the hill, 'cause it's in great shape, but it's gonna overtop it. And, so the 150-year flood would require us to raise the dam 2 feet and re-engineer the 2 spillways that let the water out. So the cost for that and his engineering fees and the initial work would be about $100,000 plus. Then every 10 years, you have to do an engineering assessment plan. So you have to do that, continuing.
Okay.
So, and the other point I wanted to make is that, you know, nobody brought this bee on. We didn't, you guys didn't, but if the bee sticks on us for this one reason, nothing is accomplished because we still don't have a road where emergency equipment can get into us. The only thing that's been accomplished is them making us raise the dam 2 feet and spend all this ridiculous money
Mhm.
that we shouldn't be spending.
Mhm.
So that's the point with the B rating, that's what it does to you,
Okay.
you know?
Yeah, I guess the reason I was asking for the clarification is because I'm wondering, is there, which things we should be focusing on if we, you know, could look at, I'll read everything more carefully, but
Okay.
the, I think what you're looking for the town to do is to help with the water,
Exit.
yeah, exiting.
Right.
But as far as the classification, you've got another path where you're addressing that.
Well, if the town addresses the pipes and the DEC agrees, because we have all these hydraulic tests already done through our engineer, and he's gone into different spillways that we have and up in the mountains. We have all that paperwork done and paid for already. So he would probably be even willing to do it. We would pay him to sit with the town or have you guys go down there and look and recommend. Because the key to this whole thing and not having an intersection flood is that when you come down the hill, the first sluice pipe you hit is about that big. And that's under a very small bridge that Mark drives his farm equipment into. That does not flood. And the reason it doesn't flood, I'm sure Darren can agree with me, is when the water rages in a high flood, it hits that wall and it goes right over into his field, which is, I don't know, 200 acres or whatever of hay. So that first problem there, if it was opened up wider and we had some kind of emergency pipe, and when the water got that high, it would just shoot it right into the field. It would never get down to the intersection to flood it, you know. The DEC is so concerned because we would be isolated.
Right.
Well, the whole county's isolated in that type of flood. I mean, be realistic,
Yeah.
you know. It says in this plan, on all of these 82 pages in the plan, if you live here, you know you're isolated. We're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
We don't wanna go anywhere, you know. We even have 12-acre field across the street from us, one of our residents owns, and it's always maintained. We told them we'll land a helicopter in there. And they thought we were kidding. We're not kidding, you know. If it's that important to get to us, land a helicopter, we got it. So, you know, I hate to bring this to you guys and dump it on you, but this is where we're at now. We've done this since, I'd say we're hot and heavy into this since last June or July. This is the second time I've been here, and I know some of my board of directors were here in October. So it's just been month after month of working on this, you know.
So I have a question. So the justification for the DEC to change this is that a safety issue, that's their
Yes.
justification,
They're-
that period.
That's it. That's it. I mean, I have the report was sent here and it was sent to the OEM. And in the regulations, it really doesn't state in black and white that that is the regulation, but the engineer's interpretation is because 10 or more homes were isolated, that would rate you at a B because you're isolated. And the road is not for us to get out, it's for emergency equipment to get in, you know.
Darren, when is Tanglewood on your road list?
The ceiling part is 2019, meaning all the work has to be done prior to that. Culvert replacement, shimming, and ditch work, so.
Alright, so if we were gonna do culverts, we'd need to do it, we need to get it in next year's budget. Well, thanks, Carol. We'll,
Okay.
have some discussions and,
Okay.
And you had no luck, I mean, obviously there's been no luck with them, with getting any change in the decision of the engineer.
Well, I'll tell you, we
Safety.
did get a change, which was unbelievable, because you know how they are.
Mhm.
I've been working out of my house in South Carolina all winter with this stuff, and the engineer that did this rating is retiring in September. So we wanna stay with him, because hopefully he'll, you know, get a little clear-headed. So, we, got them to agree to the bypass road, which we thought we had down pat, and when I came back up here and met Mark, and the engineer, who already had all this stuff all done up, and we went in there with our boots on, and the damn thing is right in the middle of You know, it would just cut right through him, and we were willing to maintain it, we would have to have a snow plow, he would do that, we'd have to keep trees out of it, anything to get us out of this, the B rating. So they did bend a little bit for that. The engineer now, what we have on the board now, we have one more last ditch effort, is that the engineer and I got together a plan, and we basically told them what we're telling you, is that this isn't our responsibility, we don't own past that spillway. We certainly wouldn't go down the end of the road with a bobcat and decide to put picnic tables down there, it's not our place to do that. So we asked them if it's called armoring the dam, so the back of the dam is grass, and we asked them, because the engineer had done this, and it worked, and he got it through. But what we wanted to do was ask them if we can armor the dam, so we would do our basic maintenance, we want the new cement, like chutes out where the water come out, and raise it up 3 feet so that the water's in the chute. And we would take big boulders and put them on the back of the dam, so if it did overtop, it was never hitting dirt to undermine the dam, it would just come out over a stone. So that's what we agreed to do in order for them to keep it in A. That, we're waiting for the answer. But that's our last effort with the engineer. The engineer we're gonna keep on board to do our basic maintenance, we're not spending the money, because what's the sense of doing cement work if you have to raise it 2 feet,
Right.
you know? So that's where we're at with that.
And the reason you're raising it at 2 feet is for what?
If we're a B rating, you have to meet the 150-year flood.
I understand, but you're pounding it, now you're putting 6 houses and buildings in peril because they're gonna be underwater.
Well, that's what they want,
I'm just saying, you're putting 6 houses underwater by raising that thing.
right, that's what they want.
Has the DEC given you any,
I see no,
any drop dead date?
Just pulling this stuff out.
No, I think because, we have complied, we've done, engineering assessment plan, we've done an I&M. You know, we had all this, we did the engineering work, the basic minimum, that they, 2 or 3 things they asked for. And then I wrote them a letter that we're trying to comply. You know, we just put $55,000 in new bridges up there. You know, it looks fantastic, Darren can tell you, you can drive anything in there. And they were in bad shape, you know. Well, we got the money together, we had people that lived there 3 generations, there's 400 years of families living there, year after year, nobody leaves. So we have this on us, and it's like, you know, we're trying to stick together, we're trying to get cash together, just to sit and wait to see. We wanna put the cash into the infrastructure, we don't wanna pay a government agency $100,000 to do this ridiculous plan, which in the end, you're still sitting there anyway, you know?
No, I just wondered if they had drawn a line in the sand and said
No.
August 1st.
They sent us a letter in 2009, and the letter went to the president at the time with no zip code, so the letter never got there. That was the plan. And then Corney, who built the community, he was very sick and then he passed away in 2010. So there was like a crossover there. And then when I came in 2014, I started to speak to them because, you know, it's a $10,000 fine right off the bat if you don't answer them. So we don't want to get to where we were throwing money into fines either, you know? So the bottom line is we've got to get to some resolution here, and we want to do the maintenance on the dam and just leave us alone after that. And we will leave you alone, you know?
You don't know when you're anticipating to hear anything back from,
The engineer sent them, I sent him an email tonight, but the engineer sent them a letter May 30th. And he has done so much work, he does work here in Delhi too, good boy, he's very well respected, and they answer him quickly. So I'm thinking that this week they will finally answer him. But I don't have any great hopes because it's kind of taking their plan and tweaking it to make it an A again, you know? So, we're trying, we tried everything.
Okay.
All right, thank
We'll
you.
do some reading and, see if we can come up with a strategy here.
Okay.
maybe we could move Tanglewood Lake to a state that's a lot easier to deal with. than this first stuff.
Should make them live up here and have to put up with their rules.
Yeah, really,
That's what we should do.
kinda like trying to build a pool.
Okay, other old business, we're closing out the grant for sports field. And we ship in the, public hearing minutes.
And that'll be put to bed.
Yep, that'll be all taken care of, that and, under new business resolution number 4. Planning board fee schedule, you said you hadn't had a chance to work on that, right?
I had some,
Personal issues. And I still haven't heard anything back from Dave on the rental rigs. So I'll have to follow up with Dave, I got some more issues we gotta go over too. New business. Our one finding was they couldn't find a copy of the executed grant, which I never saw, and they had to have to issue the money, but that was one of the findings, or the finding. The 5 concerns basically were documenting stuff that we did and putting it in the file, taking pictures. And the only other thing that we need to do is resolution number 4 of 2017. If you're really, really bored or you really can't sleep, this is a great way to put yourself to sleep. What we did is we tweaked the county's plan that we adopted last year because we have the same issue with any state or federal grants. You've got to comply with Title VI policies. So what we need to do is we need to pass resolution number 4, and then we need to designate probably Dale to be our ADA coordinator, like he is at the county. And if we do that, send this in with our public hearing minutes.
And
It should be all-
firstborn child, we should be all set.
Yeah, couple arms, 3 legs, we should not hear from him on this grant again. So, having said that, does anybody wanna make the motion to adopt resolution number 4?
I'll make the
motion. I'll second the motion.
Okay. I'll make
Motion
it.
by Al, second by Matt. You wanna call the roll also?
Yeah. Mark,
Yep.
Tom,
yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Matt,
Yes.
Al?
Yes.
And now can I have a motion to appoint Dale as the ADA compliance officer?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Is Dale aware of this? He's aware it's
He will
coming?
be.
Glad we don't come to a meeting.
Hey, if you're not here, you snooze, you lose. No, I'm pretty sure he's aware of it because he got dumped on at the county too, so it's- he knows it's coming,
I kinda mentioned it to him
kind of.
Well, then we might
Today?
better, we might better go ahead and do it since
Is
he's.
that why he was gonna run you over with his truck this afternoon?
too.
Probably.
Just about.
Okay. Any other new business? Committee reports, highway machinery, we got Darren's written report. We need to put more good news in here, Darren.
Well, the only conclusion is that Hampton Hill did finally get finished,
Did we get it paved? Good,
finished today.
good.
So we still have to do shoulders.
Right, then we gotta seal it this fall.
Mm-hmm.
We gonna have any issues with the new rain we had there this afternoon? Find out tomorrow,
Yeah,
okay?
when it rains again, probably.
And did we get the tandem back yet after the steering box issue?
We got the 10-wheeler back up with the new steering box and then a rim cracked on it, so. That'll be fixed tomorrow.
And that's the truck we're planning on keeping for a while longer.
Yep.
It's getting newer all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'll be new, another couple of years of repairs. Alright. Did you go to the highway?
I did attend that too, yep. Yep. Pretty good, pretty informative.
So we learned everything we did wrong so far?
Kind of.
Kind of. We didn't give away a dump truck or something, did they?
No door prizes with a backhoe?
No, I looked for all those.
Huh.
Okay. Anything else to report that's not on your written version?
Nope, that was it.
How are you coming on Sutherland Road?
Well, it's back to 2 lanes, but we're still far from done. Excuse me. We had to obviously move out of there and finish the pavement, because that takes everybody to do it, so. That'll probably be back tomorrow or the next day. We have to do some fill in the driveways on Herndon Hill tomorrow.
All right then, any other questions for Darren? All right, moving on, health and youth, Matt.
Just that the Little League has started, and that's it for this, I think. The volleyball net's up.
I don't have really anything else to add.
Alrighty.
Sam and I put the volleyball net up, a couple of weeks ago, and she forgot some tools to tweak the net, he wants to lower it. So,
I assume the village board is gonna dodge us again this year.
yeah, I threw that out at him too. I said I'd like to leave it where it is, because you guys are all vertically challenged. But,
We got our ringer sitting here, so
yeah.
we'll just feed everything to Matt. All right, economic development, shared services.
Just a couple of things, well, basically one issue. Down at the playground and on that lower end where the ball fields are, down at the recreation, down at the Legion, there's a need or a desire to have some porta potties available. I looked into the cost of doing this with our local supplier of porta johns. And basically, we were looking at 2 units for the summer, for about 3-month period. 2 units cost $150 per month, and they are cleaned weekly. They supply toilet paper and hand sanitizer. What we would be looking at is splitting this with the village. At this point, I'm waiting to find out if the village wants to do this or not. So I'm just presenting it to our board to find out if we're in favor. There's been some issues in regards to the lack of facilities, especially with the playground, and on that lower end, there's been some issues with the Legion and using the bathrooms there. Some of that's being worked out, so there should be less issues with that, but it is a concern, so.
My biggest concern is they start paddling the porta johns down the river.
Well, that's not our issue, though. I discussed all that with the
Police protection down there
is bad, and they know that. But we would not be responsible in any way for any damage or whatever to
Liability.
them, yeah. He's already confirmed that with me.
Who paid for last year's porta potty?
I'm not sure who did that, to be honest with you.
I don't recall there being one this
Hmm?
year.
Where are you talking
I
about?
don't recall there being one.
There
this
was
year.
one down there by the old bathrooms last year.
I don't know who had that there, but there is nothing now. And, you know, that has been something that's been brought up, especially by parents taking their kids down to the playground. We did look into trying to do something with the facility that's there, but it's shot. So at this point, you know. it
You're
doesn't
looking at
look
almost $20,000 to
Yeah,
get that thing
try to
going.
do that one,
So they'd be splitting $450?
yeah. We'd be paying $150 a month for one of the units, and they'll pay $150 a month for the other one.
Oh, it's
So it's 900 in total for the
Yeah, it's
summer.
2, yeah. Now, we do have that in, we do have money available in the budget to cover that. It's just if we wanna do it or not.
It definitely came up last year. A lot of parents wanted, well, not a lot of parents, a few parents were very vocal about wanting it, and I don't know the traffic down there.
Yeah, I don't know, I just know that somehow I inherited the playground, and so, I do know people call me about, where am
Recreation
I,
committee.
can I come down and use your bathroom? So, I feel it's something we should be doing. since we own the place now.
So are you looking for a motion from?
Can you give it away? Try, I don't think anybody's gonna take it.
So if we did what you're proposing, we'd be on the hook for $450.
Yeah,
Yeah, you just said it's 2 units for $150 per, oh, you did say each.
yeah.
Each at $150 per month.